And here we are with episode 16. 16 of the D&E podcast, siblings talking to each other into the void because they are siblings.
Yes.
Today, we were going to talk about Korra, but Emma got one episode in and texted me. She was like, nope, can't do it. And I'm like,
so here's the thing
all
about
right,
Korra.
here's the thing about Korra. Emma's got a thing about Korra.
I watched it, like when it came out to the world. I watched it when I was in like middle school.
Yeah.
Which is peak, this is what anxiety feels like.
Okay.
I had no idea what was going on with my body. I had no idea why I would leave certain interactions shaking like a leaf, and why when I started reading Pretty Little Liars, I basically had panic attacks all the time because I didn't know what anxiety was, or that it could be applied to me.
Yeah, most people don't know.
Or how it physically manifested itself. So watching Korra almost sent me down like an anxiety, like, because bro, that show is so anxiety inducing.
It is.
Because not just that, but it is Avatar, but like alternate universe, negative reality Avatar.
Yeah, it's
not
Avatar
right.
like in 60 years.
Not right.
Or is it 60 or is it 60
there's
years?
just something about, no, it's like 30 years or no, 60.
No, 60 years.
It's like 60 something.
Because Zuko's like ancient.
Yeah. There's just something wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's like when you wake up and everything has been moved to the left 2 inches. That's how it felt watching it. And I was like, I cannot do this, because she's not a political spokesperson. So she gets up there in front of everybody in the first episode and she's like, hello, Republic City. I'm so glad to be here, blah, blah, blah. And that one guy who was like, benders are awful. And she's like, bending is awesome. And he's like, let me guess, you're a bender? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, see? And she's proving his point, and I don't want to keep watching that. She's just gonna be like, I like Mako, and everybody else is gonna be like, can you save us from like this class warfare? And she's gonna be like, yeah, but Bolin likes me too. And it's like, garbage.
That's a weird show. In a way, it's kind of appropriate, because what came after the fall of like fascism in World War II?
Love triangle.
Yeah, love triangle. No, neoliberalism, and that's the one thing that like Korra is so big in. It's neoliberalism, like imperialism, but like nice imperialism, and interventionism, but nice interventionism.
Yeah.
Like I would argue that there's if you wanted to have an overarching story for the show, there's 2 stories you could do. Either one would be great. One, make it a sports anime. Korra comes, joins a pro bending team, and she becomes like an Avatar athlete, right?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And maybe something happens and Mako and Bolin are out, but she finagles the rules around, so she has to fight all of them at once with all her stuff, and she narrowly wins, and everyone's like, yeah, Korra. And or can't do both, one or the other, or have the main conflict of the whole series be holy shit, people are just getting airbending. Yeah. And that's the thing. But now they have to think about, so are we going to be airbenders, or are we just going to be and Tenzin's like, he has like the weight, he's sort of projecting the weight that Aang put on him, and there's a lot of stuff you can do with that.
Tenzin,
and it's great.
And
then
unfortunately,
just take Zahir out of it, because Zahir's cool.
It's not even the fault. It's not even the fault of the creators, because they were literally
and that's the problem.
Those poor fucking creators of Korra, they deserve better. They just absolutely were given the weight of the world, and obviously is a recipe for disaster. Like,
of course, yeah.
And that just sucks, because they had so much pressure, and they did not deserve that.
So,
and the homophobia in the Nickelodeon department, they wouldn't let fucking Korrasami happen. So they just had to. They narrowly got in that handhold.
Yes. Holy shit! You should. I need to link you that video that I found. It's all these. It's all these people like young 20-somethings, older teenagers, just watching the end of the series and losing their goddamn minds. They're like, oh god, like screaming and crying and like jumping up and down and losing their shit.
I got news for them. Have they seen She-Ra?
One of the comments, I think the top rated comment was Korra walked so She-Ra could run.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that's
yeah, no,
absolutely what
I also
happened.
feel like this is something that I feel about the Hobbit movies too,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember I actually enjoyed the
Don't even
first
get me
Hobbit movie.
started on the Hobbit
Don't
movie.
get me started. Well,
Don't even
I
get me
actually
started.
enjoyed the first Hobbit movie.
It was
And
garbage.
I enjoyed it for what it
It
was.
was
I'm like, oh, it
all
was fun.
bad.
Then I
It was
watched the
all
second one and I was
bad.
like, what the hell is this?
It was
It's not
all
even bad. It's
bad.
just weird.
I'm not
Like,
even
what
going
the
to
hell is
offer
this?
an analysis.
No.
It's
And then I
just
was
a
like,
waste
I'm
of
just not gonna
money.
watch the third movie. And I didn't, and I saw clips of it online and I was like, I'm glad I didn't see this. Oh my God. But
Glad I
then you
didn't
find out how horrible everything was, like how terrible they were to Peter Jackson, how terrible they were to the government of New Zealand. Like they actually got them to roll back a lot of their like film like union laws
Boo.
to decrease the cost
Gee, it's
of
almost
making
like
a
you can
movie.
see it in the movie how bad they treated everybody.
Oh, like there, you should check out. Lindsay Ellis did
Poorly
this
done.
3-part, like I think the whole series is like an hour and a half long,
Mm-hmm.
about the Hobbit movies. It actually won. I think it won like a Nebula Award
Mm-hmm.
for how well she did a really good job with it.
Hell
She actually
yeah.
interviewed one of the dwarves. Like he's this like really talented like old school New Zealand actor,
Mm-hmm.
and he would talk about how like they'd get us all put up in makeup and just sitting there for like 18 hours and like, oh, we're not going to use it today, just go take it off and wait for tomorrow. Like it was really really bad.
That's
And like there's this
horrible.
one image that perfectly sums up those movies in my opinion, and it's uh Peter Jackson sitting like sitting with his arms crossed and his head all scrunched over in the middle of like the ruins of Erebor, which are like flanked by green screen on all sides. And he's just sitting there and he has this look of like he doesn't have an expression on his face. He has like a mask on his face. This dude is like a hop, skip, and a jump away from Nam flashbacks. Like holy shit. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
and you can even see him like stumping for like Warner's. Like he's talking about like how like all this legislation he wants the studio to get pushed. And like even in that, it looks like there's a guy with a Glock off camera, like holding him up, and it's like, God, Pete, I feel so bad for you. Because if he'd popped out like a short little Hobbit movie after Lord of the Rings,
That would have been so
like
cute.
it would have been great, because the Hobbit's a fun story,
The
like it's
Hobbit
not
is
as
literally made for kids.
it is made for kids.
It's supposed to be a
Yeah,
kid's
yeah.
story.
Yeah, make it a kid's story.
And
Well,
they
the
were
pro-
like, you know what? We can beat this horse. We can beat this dead horse until we get the last golden egg. Don't give a shit. What's gonna stop me?
they made a
and
lot of money too,
they,
right? Didn't
which
they?
is so unfortunate.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, it's simple
So
economics.
what Des was gonna say before I jumped in with my Cora comments,
Which is fine. Like the whole point of this is to
we
talk
are
about
not
stuff.
going to talk about Cora today
talk
because
about
we just
something really good.
exhausted the whole topic.
We're
We're
gonna
going to talk about the good place.
Woo!
Ooh, tasty.
Arguably the best show
It's
in the last like 10
so
years.
Beautiful.
So good.
This
My
is going to
God.
be a spoilers filled episode.
Okay, here's the thing about the good place.
You haven't finished.
Don't look up
watch this.
anything at all. Like just start watching it.
Yeah.
You have to come in the way
great.
that Eleanor, Kristen Bell's character, comes in
True.
to the show. No idea what the hell's going on, figuring everything out as she figures it out. It's really nice. I love that show so much.
The last episode really made me cry nonstop.
It was so
absolutely
beautiful.
Could not handle what was going on.
It was just so like touching. Like I love that like everyone's arc finishes in such a good way. Like Janet becomes like a person.
Yeah.
Right? Michael literally becomes a person. He starts off being a demon and like looking down on people to like learning what it is to be people, and then finally becoming one. Yeah. And like I love when he first walks into Phoenix and he goes, "It's hot, but it's a dry heat." I'm like, this show gets it. Like I love like how relatable it is too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love that like some of the first people to come into the bad place were like the man who first said, "I need a vacation from my vacation," or like the first person
to floss in an open office layout. The first person the first white man to wear dreads, and also who named ultimate frisbee, ultimate. And Jason goes, what? This guy's a legend. And how Jason fits so easily in with the other demons when they're pretending to be demons in like season 2 or whatever. And he's like,
totally, yeah.
oh, ball tap. And he's like, yeah, I love this. These are my guys. Yeah.
You know, one thing I love. Oh, I freaking love what Adam Scott as
You gotta
as one
just
of the
say their
demons.
character names. I don't fucking know their actor names.
Well, okay, no, he was Ben Wyatt in Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
he shows up.
I love him.
And he's
oh
like,
my god,
and
you'd
he's
look
being
so
a dick
pretty
to Michael.
if you just smiled.
Oh no!
Hey babe,
Well,
you pregnant?
I love.
Look a little bigger than usual.
Yeah. I love.
Dick.
One thing I really love about that
good.
is one of his like posse. One of the people in that club is Dax Shepard, who's Kristen Bell's actual husband, and like they kind of give each other eyes. Like,
really?
Yeah, seriously.
What?
It's amazing. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh my god. Like I was like,
are you talking about the guy with the Bluetooth in his ear?
I might be. Like he's the taller blonde guy. He played the astronaut in Zathura.
Zathura.
Yeah.
Wait, he's in the show?
Yeah, he shows up for like one episode. It's the episode where they're trying to get out of the bad place.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, you're right. He's the guy who's like, I got this guy I just can't crack. You're right. And they do give each other eyes. And he's like, I was like, yeah, mama. And she's like, thank you, right back at you. Hot like, shit or whatever.
I was like, that's adorable. I love when couples cute. Like show up in shows together.
Yeah, like in The Office with Michael and Carol. They're actually married.
And even then, like they're like I think it's the episode where like he walks in when he's asking all of his exes if they have herpes.
Yeah. And she's like,
but
yes,
like,
Michael,
but
actually you
see,
do
like,
over romanticize things.
But
you proposed to me on our 9th date. What were you thinking?
Carol, would you do me the honor of Michael? No, can we talk about this?
Can we talk about this in private? Okay, back to the good
back to the show. So
I love the how Michael tries to torture them and literally they always get better and he's like, this is so frustrating. But instead of like doing the insane thing, like doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome, he actually realizes, oh, wait, maybe there's a reason why they're getting better. Maybe this is actually bigger than just the 6 of us. Maybe this is bigger.
I also love, like, there's at one time, like, it's just a montage of Eleanor getting it. And then Jason goes, oh, wait, guys, this is the bad place. And Michael's like, Jason got it?
Oh, that hurts. This is a real low for me. Snap. Like,
God. Okay, can we talk about friggin' Jason Mendoza? Like
Jason Mendoza, as a representative of Florida, he is doing the state proud.
That boy is the official spokesperson of Florida. Even though he's actually Filipino, he is from Florida in our hearts.
He is.
He and Blake Bortles, man.
Wait, what's the name of the new Blake Bortles got cut? We switched him with what's his name? Oh, cool! That guy won a Super Bowl. We're going everywhere, and he like instantly like, oh my god!
There's something that's so like nice about him because like he's so like he's so unpretentious and so like straightforward and so.
But he's
like,
so
wholesome.
Pretty.
He is. He's a very handsome man. That's one thing I like about the show. It's like everyone is so attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone is so attractive. Janet, beautiful. Even Michael, he's got that
Michael he's such a silver fox.
He is.
Doesn't Janet literally say that at one point?
I feel like she probably does.
When you're a human, you'll be a silver fox.
The way that Jess and I watched the show was like we binged the first 3 seasons,
mm-hmm.
and then we had to wait like 2 months for season 4. Yeah. So we did forget quite a bit of it. Yeah. But I remember how it made me feel. How it made me feel was like I still remember turning it on the first episode, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is a soft sci-fi." Oh my god, this is a soft sci-fi. Holy shit, this is so cool. I love
so interesting how many topics it manages, like how many genres it manages to fit into. It's romantic, it's a comedy, it's sci-fi, it's fantasy, it's
mm-hmm.
also philosophical and religious, and what else?
I would argue that I think one of the coolest things about
apocalyptic.
I don't know if I'd say apocalyptic.
I feel like it's apocalyptic when when what's her name? That one the woman who's played by Phoebe from Friends. She's like, you have to help us, and then they keep drinking milkshakes.
Well,
it's a little
that's honestly kind of a pro because Hypatia's Greek and like what's one of the popular Greek stories, friggin' Odysseus, and then they eat the lotus flowers and whatnot, and then they also become happiness zombies.
Yep.
But I love, oh my god, she's been in like so many Netflix shows too. Like she was in Kimmy Schmidt, she was in Space Force.
She was also in Easy A. She was the bad guy in Easy A.
She was the bad guy in Easy A. And yet she was still wonderful in that, movie.
She did a great job.
She's friggin' Phoebe, man. Phoebe, best character on, no, second best. Her and Joey, best friendship on Friends.
Oh my god, so good. They were the himbos. Phoebe is also a himbo. She's an honorary himbo.
Can you explain to me what a himbo is? Because I've heard it so much that I'm too lazy.
You don't know what a himbo is? Okay, for you and anybody else watching who doesn't know what a himbo is. A himbo. Basically, a himbo is Jason Mendoza. Drinks respect women juice, has literally no brain. Smooth brain. Like, literally, Jason even jokes about how his brain is so smooth that the doctors were impressed. Is strong, willing to help in any scenario, effusively positive. Did I mention drinks respect women juice? But also is like down to love their male friends just as much. Like when Chidi's freaking out about how Eleanor and he are too different, and Jason's like,
yeah.
Oh, do you think that Janet and I are too different? Do you think that she'll stop loving me? And he's like, ha ha, bitch! I got you to realize that what you were saying is stupid because Janet would never stop loving me, and I would never stop loving Janet. You know, like you're just dumb. You're being anxious. You're looking for a way out of this. Man.
Can I say there's 3 actors in the show who I think are like the standout actors in a show with a standout, like flawless cast, right? And that is Janet, Chidi, and Derek. All 3 of those people. Derek. Hello. Attention. I've been Dereked. Attention. I've been Dereked. Attention.
I love how every time he's holding a martini with a different thing in it, like a whole onion one time. A whole onion. Or one time it's just full of olives and he's blowing bubbles in it and he's like, and there's like all these like olives falling out of the martini glass. That was a very, very well done running gag.
That guy has been in like
a lot of stuff. He voices Jay in Big Mouth. He was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as an undercover agent who was too far gone and kind of low-key went insane. He's been in a lot of stuff.
He was Dennis Feinstein in Parks and Rec?
Yes, he was Dennis Feinstein in Parks and Rec.
He changed his name to Dennis Feinstein to be more exotic. And then he was in Community. He was in
Community?
Senor Chang. Yeah. He plays Senor Chang. Like he kind of whiplashes Senor Chang, who is Ken Jeong's character.
Yeah.
And he's like insulting him and stuff. And he's like, it's because you're amazing. Unless I abuse you, you won't stay amazing. And like it's like he just keeps inventing more creative ways to insult this guy. And I have to give Ken Jeong so many props for not bursting out laughing every time, because he's truly inventive with his insults. But there's a lot of stuff that I like about it. One thing that I think is cool about the show is like it is a proponent of moral ambiguity, despite looking like it's a bit of a moral absolutist show. Because like ultimately, like the moral of that system is that it's flawed because they're judging people as they're essentializing people, right? People are essentially good or essentially bad based on these points.
Well, not just that, but the rules have not changed.
They haven't changed.
The world has changed, but the rules haven't.
Yes. One thing that I also appreciate about the show is one of the morals of the show. One of the morals of the show, Emma, is that there is no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Like you can't be like, oh, locally sourced ethical farms.
I mean, that's exactly what Eleanor says at one point in a flashback to her boyfriend, where she's like, there's bad stuff everywhere, man. We can't. And her boyfriend's like, well, can't we just try? And she's like, why would we do that? It's so much harder. And by the way, I'm talking really fast because I still drink Andy's coffee and I got a full punch card, bro. And holds up like the boobs and the belly button punch card.
Oh, I love it.
She's
She's
accurate,
I also love how delightfully trashy she is in like the first like season and a half.
She's real trashy.
She's
okay. I loved the dress bitch sequence. That was so well written. Like,
that was really good.
borrows decides to say, fuck it, I'm borrowing that dress anyway, rips it, puts it back. Then her roommate blames it on the dry cleaner people. And when it goes viral, they take the opportunity to make t-shirts, and they make a bank. And then with the profits, she buys an exact copy of the dress for herself.
I also love how subtle it is too, because at first
funny.
you think, oh, I mean, she's in the wrong place, but she's probably can't be that bad. And then she keeps going on about stuff, and you're like, oh, she's terrible. And Chidi's like, wow, you're really like not a nice person. No.
Yeah.
And then I also love it how it's like, I love how subtle it is the first season, because I kind of started to guess maybe this is the bad place at the like halfway through the first season, specifically because of Tahani, right? Who, by the way, Tahani, I love that, like, one of the subplots of the first two seasons is that, like, I almost said Kristen, Eleanor has like a serious like crush on Tahani. This is your soulmate, Tahani.
Side note, I might legit be into Tahani. That fucking moment, this is your soulmate, Tahani, and she goes into the door like this. That was, I think all of us, I think I can speak for everybody when I say I want a montage of what that road went down. I want to know what happened there.
That was great. Although I have to say, runner up for that was when her soulmate was just a golden retriever.
Golden retriever. This is your soulmate, like, a golden retriever.
And I'm like, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
that looks like a very good dog. I would pet
really
that dog.
Like,
and if it's the good place, you must never have to walk them, because they just hang out. I also loved that, like, there is one thing that I thought was kind of weird that I wish they kind of touched on. Chidi talks about Immanuel Kant all the time. Like, he's one of his favorite moral philosophers. Immanuel Kant was a biological racist. Like, he was a white supremacist. He was a shitty person. His moral philosophy, people like it a lot. I learned Kant when I took a philosophy course in college. But no one really talks about his racism, because because most philosophers are white. It's so easy to compartmentalize that. I think it would have been interesting for Chidi's character, who's not even
to address that.
Yeah, who's not even from like Germany, who's studying this stuff in this other context, to address that. They never did, and like, on the one hand, it probably would have been a bit of a detour, but like, I kind of thought it would have still been interesting. But
it would have. I agree. That would have been a good road.
But I like how, like, but going back to Tahani, the thing that I thought was really, I liked how subtle it was, because like, she was never number one, and she kept checking her list to see who was better than her, and that was really eating up at her. And I'm like, this seems oddly specific. I think I know what they're doing here. There was a really
You're like, wait a minute. It seems like there are specific things that are like, Chidi's anxious because he has to make decisions, and so he's faced with a really difficult decision. Jason
can't talk,
and all he wants to do is talk. Eleanor is surrounded by people who are better than her, and Tahani realizes that there are people who are better than her, and she's at like the bottom of the list, and she's like, are you kidding me? And she tries to just make her thing better, but her motivations are corrupt. And that's what she looks.
He's presuming his vow of silence still.
Fine. In the good place.
The good place. We're dead now.
I have to say, I was kind of worried about the fourth season. I didn't really know if it was going to actually stay on the rails. I didn't know if it was going to jump the shark at some point. I was really worried that, you know, when seasons and seasons and seasons happen, and you think maybe they should have just stopped at season 1 or season 2, and then they just keep going and it's like weird. I was kind of feeling that way in like season 3 and season 2. You know, I was kind of like ambivalent about the storyline because it was chaotic and I was confused, and it felt like they didn't really have an end game. But with season 4, when they clearly did have an end game, really redeemed it. Not that it like needed redeeming, but still, you know, I really liked how season 4.
You were worried if they would stick the landing, and then they did, and you were like, oh, okay. Another thing that I also like about the show is it actually makes a compelling argument against individual action being the source of positive change, because ultimately people making better decisions doesn't end up getting people into the good place. People in positions of power being made to recognize their problems and create systemic change, that's what ends up changing things. And it's so much easier than everybody having to on Earth try to change things, because you could just be like, okay, what if we just do this thing, and now we're okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I also really liked the 4 people that they have that they're working with. Like the one
Yeah.
guy,
Simone, Brent, the mystery novel that Brent wrote was absolutely like
that was peak.
amazing.
That was
Like, I cannot stop. He's the best detective in the world. He solves the mystery on page 10. Well, then what the fuck is the rest of the book about, Brent? That was so funny. And it's my favorite is that Eleanor is the architect of the neighborhood. So she has to be like impartial. And so she's coming to Simone and being like, maybe we could not be mean to Brent about this. And Simone's like, no, if this is really the good place, there shouldn't be racist people here. And I should be allowed to call them out. And, Eleanor's like, this is so true. And I want to side with Simone, but I need them all to be nicer to each other.
But
and,
I love.
And she even says, like, no, we shouldn't have a making fun of Brent's book party. And literally, she goes to the table and Tahani and Simone are reading the book. And they're both making fun of it. And as soon as Eleanor walks over, Tahani's like, don't look at me. I'm sorry. I know I broke the rules. This book is horrible. Please don't look at me.
I really appreciate. I really, really, really like when he realizes that he's in the bad place.
Mm-hmm.
Like
when Chidi's actually able to break it into his head. This is the bad place, and you hurt everyone around you all the time because you are incessantly disgusting. And he's about to say, I'm sorry. And the timer cuts, and they're like, well, I hope that'll work. Also, the moment when Michael and Eleanor, when Chidi's like, this is the bad place, and they both do the evil giggle. And they're both like, oh, I can't believe you figured it out. Okay, we're bye. Like,
I know.
And they're like, well, I hope that works. And it's...
I love that because it's like, you can tell he's the kind of guy who's never been called out on anything. Mm-hmm. And so in that moment, it must almost be traumatic for him to realize his whole life, he's been a fucking monster. Mm-hmm. And you can see the wheels turning in his head. Yeah. And I love that actor did a
great job with the facial journey.
He didn't say anything that whole time. He's just listening to Chidi. And you see in his face, he's slowly coming to the realization that like he deserves to be there. Mm-hmm. And like he can't. And I think there might even be some guilt there because he realizes he can't apologize to the people on Earth because he's dead.
So he tries to apologize to Chidi, but then the timer cuts off. And I do love the moment when, like all 4 humans have to get better. Otherwise, the system isn't broken. And Michael is like, look, Brent might not have gotten a total sum positive better. But you can see you see that spike and the judge is like, yeah, that's interesting, and Michael keeps pressing what if they get better tomorrow? Yes. What if there's still a chance that they can, in fact, get better? I want to hold out hope that they will. And I think it's up to us to see if we can make them get better. I really do love the system that they create. It's beautiful. And especially how Sean is like, I don't want our fighting to end. I know. You've made it feel fresh and new again. And they kind of have this little like bromance relationship. It's pretty gay. It's really nice.
He's good. It is a very gay show. I like it. You know what I mean?
And there's like the redemption arc for Vicky and Michael. Like
Vicky
is really good at acting.
Awesome.
She's really bad at the Australian accent, but she's very good at acting. And she just wants that starlight pointed at her. Yes. And Michael really does have to come to terms with the fact that he's not needed 100% of the time. That's difficult.
I love when Glenn explodes into goo, then he comes back and Tahani's interning as an architect and he goes, so when I exploded into goo, did any of it get on you? And she's like, yes, but don't worry, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
It's all goo under the
Could I get anybody a cup of antimatter?
Yeah, I love that she literally had a list of like 1,000 things to do before she felt like she would be satisfied with her time. And one of them was problematically objectify Eleanor. Cross that off the list. That was so funny.
I didn't even see that. But now
that was at the very end. That was at the very end.
Well, I appreciate
was like,
that.
I'm gonna leave. And Eleanor was like, I'm glad that you're not leaving, but I am sorry to see you go. And Tahani was like, well, I'll miss you too, Eleanor. You and your rockin' hot bod. And Eleanor was like, I have nothing left to teach you. And Janet was like, Tahani says, Janet, I have something to add to and cross off my list. Problematically objectify Eleanor. Cross. So funny.
So good. So good. I really love like Tahani's relationship with her family and her sister.
Yeah, and how it develops, and how in the afterlife they actually get to stay together and be in a loving relationship.
And I love that like her parents do the thing that like oh my god, Brent, is that his name? Douche guy? They do where like they realize by the time they finally get to
by the time they've gone through all of the testing and stuff,
they realize we were shitty people to both their daughters.
They instantly apologize.
And I'm like, no, don't do that to me. I can't. And God, God, freaking Chidi, the way that he leaves is so beautiful and so like I love it. Like there's something that really hits me about what ends up making him realize that like he's ready, and like it's when like
that was beautiful
when like when Eleanor's when his mom
Chidi's mom kisses Eleanor as a goodbye, and some of her lipstick stayed on her face, and Eleanor's mom wipes it off, and he realizes he doesn't need to be there anymore.
That's something that I really appreciate about the show. It's not a matter of do you want to be here. It's a matter of cosmically, do I still need to continue existing?
And not just that, but you also get the background that his parents and her parents, or her mom at least, end up in the good place.
Yeah.
They end up going through the testing processes, and the person that she tried to help, like Tahani's sister, Pillboy and Donkey Doug, Pillboy, and Eleanor's friends and her mom.
Yeah, they all wind up there.
Chidi, who in Chidi's life did he try to positively impact?
His friend Uzo showed up, right?
His friend Uzo did show up. I don't remember if he tried to change anybody in his life, but
I don't know. I'd have to imagine that like Chidi was too caught up in his own head to really influence other people. That's why he became. This is why everybody hates moral philosophy professors.
But by the end, a moral philosophy professor changed the afterlife, and this is why everybody loves moral philosophy professor.
Yes, specifically Chidi. I love when he realizes what the afterlife is, like when they go back to Earth, and then his brain just breaks, and he's just like walking through, like he just rips his shirt off.
He's like, that dot over the eye in Baramy, that broke me. Goodbye. And he's eating dip your little paws in my chili. Dip your little paw. Get up in here. Taste my chili.
You put the
M&M Peeps chili.
You put the Peeps to the M&Ms, and it makes everything terrible.
You put the Peeps in the chili, and you make it taste bad.
He has to cover so many bases. The one guy who comes up to him and
he's like, hey, do you want to meet God? And he's like, God is dead. And he launches into this quote. And he's holding him by the shoulders. And the guy was like, I was just trying to sell you drugs, man. You made it weird. And he runs away.
Oh, God.
The dialogue. The writing in this show is absolutely stellar. And is to be freaking commended. And I have to say, I love that when they do fix the afterlife and they ask everybody, is this what you want? Like, if we were to put a specific door that you wouldn't accidentally go through, that you would go through when you want your time to be over on this existence and you would pass on, actually, would that be okay? And everybody starts cheering and stuff. And Phoebe, I'm just gonna call her Phoebe, she's like, Phoebe, now that I know that there's an end to this, I might stay for a while and, do some more things. And I have kind of a revitalization for life now that I know that I'm not a happiness zombie anymore. And I'm going to try to learn math again.
There is a bit of a thing that I heard about. I remember reading about back when internet atheism wasn't just a front for internet fascism.
True.
And it's a very unfortunate. No, which is that infinite reward is every bit as immoral as infinite punishment, right? And you can see that because, like, no one deserves to be tortured for eternity. and no one deserves to be rewarded for eternity.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that this show is trying to say is like people are complicated. Like you
They
can't
need good
you
things and
can't get
bad
a
things
good
in
read
order to
on them
be
all at once.
satisfied.
And that's one thing that I really appreciate when they're back on Earth. Is like Eleanor goes back to her mom and expects to rip her a new one, but like her mom is in a loving marriage and she's
Yeah.
trying to become a new person and she's
Mhm.
trying to turn over a new leaf. And it ends up being Eleanor who actually convinces her to stay and to
Mhm.
stop saving money and to stop waiting for things to go badly. And
Mhm.
I really like that. And like I also
Yeah.
really enjoy the like friggin' everybody changes. Friggin' I love that Michael is it like when he's afraid of being retired, that's when he suddenly realizes what it feels like to be a human all the time.
Yeah, and he goes to
Just
the
gets it.
existential crisis, and Chidi's like, "Hey, Michael, is there any way a demon can die?" And he's like, "Yes, it's called being retired." And he's like, "Well, imagine if that happened to you. Infinite inky blackness, nothingness, gone forever."
Oh,
And Michael's like, "No more me?" And he goes through the whole earring, like,
yeah,
"Janet, make us a Dubai."
Oh god,
How many dollars are in a quarterback? I love that Janet was like wearing that basically the peach dress. It was so funny.
I love Bad Janet. Bad Janet is hilarious.
Bad Janet is so funny.
Bad Janet is iconic.
Dink. The constant farting.
I love
Mom.
like there are so many like subtle jokes in the show that like they don't even say, they're just there. Like I love that like I've seen that like New York updo like thing like so many times since moving up here, and I'm like, oh, that does kind of suck. I do kind of hate that.
The bump it.
The bump it, yes. The bump it, yes. Fuck the bump it. And whoever the hell invented it, they're probably in the bad place.
Snooki.
They're probably the last person who was not let out of the bad place. They're there forever, mainly because the demons all want to bump it.
I love the joke that that Shakespeare goes through the door because his last 200 plays were absolutely garbage. And it's like, yeah, I mean, writers are not typically known for being great 100% of the time.
No,
and over time you are plagued with the fear that what you do now is not as good as what you once did. And like he went through the door. Like that was some that's just really funny.
Also appropriate for the day we're recording this. Apparently Columbus is also in the bad place because of all the murder and rape and genocide.
Yeah, that man does not like he
get
gets
out.
quizzed by the bad place and he gets put back in the bad place.
He don't get out of the bad place.
Christopher Columbus.
There are a few people that probably shouldn't get out of the bad place, but we won't talk about them because this is a happy place.
Yeah. Also, I have a question. I have a plot hole.
Okay. Plot hole.
Okay, so
is that the little dot from Jeremy Bearimy?
No, actually, this is different. Okay, are you ready?
This is different.
Are you ready?
What?
There's a moment when Michael asks the accountant when they're running away or whatever, and he's like, "When was the last time somebody got into the good place?" And he's like, 500 years. And he's like, "Nobody's gotten into the good place in 500 years." And he's like, "Yep, that's what the calculations say." And he's like, "Don't you think that's bad?" And he's like, "I don't think if anything's good or bad. I'm an accountant. I just do the numbers." Okay, but in the beginning, Janet says every single president is in the bad place except for Abraham Lincoln, which was within the past 500 years. And also, he was also not a 100% good president. The way that he treated indigenous peoples is horrible. That's a big plot hole.
Wait, that's not even in like the last like 200 years. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What? No. Damn.
So what? Did he get a medium place or something? Just like Mindy St. Clair? Like
Mindy St. Clair is also great. You know what this show?
You know
what this show is? Despite the fact that it's called The Good Place, it is an ode to trashy people. You know what I mean? It is. It's like think of all the trashy people you've met who are so important to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't even mean bad people. I mean like people that are like trashy. You know what I mean?
I think I'm trashy. I like to think of myself as kind of trashy.
Me too. You know what I mean? Like there are many days where I put on like the biggest pair of pants I could find and a badly fitting shirt, and I stay home all day and I play video games. That's my life. It's also a very
That's not
nicely.
even trashy. That's just mental health.
I also appreciate how like anti-class it is too. It's
Mhm.
like no, like
Yes.
screw, like, because all the bad guys are corporate bureaucrats essentially, right? You know, and all the good guys are just random ass people who just come out of nowhere
Yes.
and recognize injustice and go, this is bullshit.
Yeah, like that one guy that was like, yeah, I died like thousands of years ago. I got a cut on my hand. I would have killed for a vaccine. Can't believe you guys don't want them now.
It's like having,
I would have literally killed somebody to have a vaccine. And he's like totally brain dead the whole
yeah, we
time.
have like, it's like we're having an orgasm 24/7. It's amazing. I I appreciate. There's something I want to talk about too about the finale, because I keep coming back to it because it just affected me so much.
The finale's
Like,
so
I feel like
upsetting.
it's like there's something bittersweet about it, but like in a way, I feel like, ironically, I feel like it's actually a very powerfully kind of like anti-suicide kind of sentiment, despite the fact that you could argue that like they are voluntarily choosing to leave
Mm-hmm.
existence. I feel like there's something deeper going on there.
Yeah.
Like, it's a matter of like I feel like the moral, like the thing that I got from the show was like, it's a matter of choosing to be here, and then maybe that's the only reason you need to stay. You know what I mean? Like Hypatia or Phoebe, she's like, I was gonna leave, but I might as well stay, and the only reason she needs to stay is because she wants to, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's something that I appreciate about how like they're in the afterlife. They can do whatever the hell they want. They could simulate the birth and death of 1,000 universes.
Yeah.
They could do whatever, and they just choose to hang out with their friends. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's because it's those tiny little things that really add up and really are so important. And
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want to talk too much about suicide, just because like I'm still learning a lot, and I don't feel like I know enough to properly talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like, I feel like, like, as someone who has experienced mildly ideation in that degree to some extent at some point, like, it's, yeah, I think we both have. Like, part of it is just like really really coming to grips with the fact that sometimes it's okay to feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to have a bad day, and sometimes it's okay to be really really excited about something stupid or something
Yeah.
little.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes that's all it is. And I feel like what's so beautiful about that show is that, like, it starts off with Eleanor being like not the greatest person,
Like
and
a total
eventually,
dick. Let's be
total
real.
dick, the total
She's
dick.
not a medium person. She was
She's
a
a bad
bad person.
You are a bad person. Another really funny subtle joke is her going like, um, it doesn't even, I can't even fill out a page by just putting interestingly at the beginning of every sentence. And I'm like, oh
Like
God.
I did that. I didn't even do that thing that I used to do to like increase the word count by putting interestingly at
I
the beginning
love
of every
that.
paragraph.
I love that whenever we do a podcast and I forget a line, all I have to do is like say something approximating it, and
And
you'll
then
just like
I'm
auto
able
correct the
to,
line.
yep.
Oh, it's so
I
good.
don't know
No,
what's up with my brain, but I remember all the dialogue as much as possible.
that's fair. I'm more
That's
visual.
fun.
I remember
Really
stuff
like it.
happening, but I'm
That's
not
fair.
super great with the dialogue. You know
I
what I mean?
love,
It's like how when I listen
I
to music,
love.
I'm a lot better with music than I am with lyrics, though
Mhm.
I'm still pretty good with lyrics. Although then again, it's a 3 to 5 minute long song versus like a 1,000 hour long show. Well, not 1,000 hour, but like this many hour long show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do love though the conversation that Eleanor and Chidi have, because you as a viewer are waiting for it to happen. You
Yes,
know that Eleanor and Chidi, they're not going to probably leave at the same time. And if they do,
of
that'd be
course.
amazing, but they're probably not going to leave at the same time.
Yeah.
And one of them is probably going to leave before the other, and it's probably going to be Chidi leaving before her,
Well, because he's
because
always been that kind of person.
exactly, he's always been the type of person to be a little bit more satisfied with the way of things
But
and
also, I feel like he's always been a little bit
prepared.
more self-intuitive, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
he's always been a bit more aware of himself. But anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, no,
Go.
exactly that. And so we kind of, I think all of us expected that. And it was obviously very upsetting for Eleanor to hear when he said, I haven't just been feeling this. I've been feeling this for a long time.
Mhm.
I've been feeling this ever since this moment. And she's like, oh my God, this is real. I can't talk my way out of this. And then she tries to, and then she realizes, what we owe to each other. Eleanor's Cheaties can't leave Eleanor's because it would make Eleanor's sad. And I love that she did that. And she was like, but Cheaties need to go because if Cheaties stayed, it would make Cheaties sad.
Yes. That's fair. Oh God.
And then she said, leave before I wake up. And he left her that Jeremy Bearimy calendar, which was so funny.
Love that.
I laughed so hard.
Sexy calendar Cheaty is best Cheaty. There's sexy calendar Cheaty. There's Nietzschean nihilist Cheaty. There's you put the peeps in the chili in. It makes it all
There's also mailman Cheaty.
It's mailman chili. Yes. That's my favorite dish. Mailman chili.
He's chili Cheaty making chili. Ah.
I mean, he's not. So he probably is chilly. That guy is in really good shape too. Holy shit, he's in insanely good shape.
I have to say, one of the best moments I think in the entire show, like one of the best throwaway jokes, was when Michael's talking to Bad Janet and he's trying to convince her that she can be good too, and that humans can be good. He says, I brought you this, and it's the book. And she says, oh my God, is that Brett's book? Chip Mystery? And he was like, no, I couldn't get it for you. I didn't have enough cash on me. Because Brent's charging money in the good place for his book. He's charging $65 a book. Nothing costs money, and so he's demanding that they pay him, and he's like, no, I didn't have enough money. Meaning, like, he would have bought Bad Janet a copy of it because he knew that she would have loved it. However, he was like, no, I didn't have enough money. What the fucking, I can literally not even describe the vibes. I cannot even digest or breathe through the vibes.
That is really good. I also love when, like, they're all in Janet's Janet Void, and it's just the actress who plays Janet, like, as all of them, and she's really, really good at it. Oh, like, she's amazing. I love Janet as Jason. Like, that is hilarious.
Especially in the clothes. Janet in Jason's clothes, she goes hard. That was a look. She's just like.
Let me look it up. Hang on a second. Janet as Jason. Hang on. Janet as Jason. Hold up. Where are you?
A sweatpants, sweat tracksuit, blue and red sweat tracksuit with a gray tank top and like a gold chain or a silver chain.
Which is a good ass look.
Such a look for her. I love that.
I appreciate that.
And I love when Cheaty kisses Eleanor, but it's both Janet's, and you can visibly see like the really weird green screen difference of the lips of the connection, because those two the actress can't kiss herself physically.
Yes, that'd be weird.
So funny.
That'd be weird, but that'd be funny. No, I love her and Jason have such a pure, pure, adorable, beautiful relationship.
I know. I love it.
I just love it. Like, it's so weird, but it's also so great. Because like she literally, she has no idea what the hell's going on. Like she's like, yeah, sure, I'll go along with you, but I'm not a girl, and I technically can't get married. I also don't like feel emotion. So like, okay, fine.
I love that.
I married Janet, yay!
And Jason is a person who is next to me. I love that over time, that love magnifies, and how she keeps doing the thing where it's like, and Jason calls back to it with the bad Janet guys as the good Janet.
Every time I say
Janet has this thing where if she doesn't say it, I know it's not her. And everybody's like, what the fuck did you just say? And he's like, I called Janet a girl, and she didn't say not a girl. And everybody was like, oh, fuck.
I didn't even realize that was a thing till he said it. And I was like, oh, shit, the show was really good. You didn't realize it was twists.
A thing? That's been like a constant joke on Tumblr. Or not a joke, but like a constant.
Not a girl.
Yeah, constant meme on Tumblr is like, could not relate more when Janet constantly says, not a girl. Not a person. Yeah. Not a robot.
I'm a Janet. You touched on the judge earlier, but dude, God, seriously, Maya Rudolph. Holy shit. I have never seen her not be funny. She's hilarious. She's hilarious in the Tide commercials, in the detergent commercials. She was hilarious in Lego Movie 2.
She is Kamala Harris in all the SNL skits, and she does it.
I have to watch those.
And
I
they're
have to watch
great.
this.
They're amazing. She does. And the best thing, my fucking roommates and I, we were watching the VP debate. And she, like, we're both looking at each other like, why is it not Maya Rudolph? We can't look at her and not see Maya Rudolph. And we keep seeing Kamala Harris, and her face looks so different from Maya Rudolph's. And we're like, that's not the right Kamala.
But at the same time, Maya Rudolph does, like, she pulls it off. That's the thing about SNL. Like, they're I don't know what the heck happened, but they're grabbing people for these impersonations who are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. I think that Kate McKinnon is more convincing Hillary Clinton than Hillary Clinton is. Like, I'm not sure if you could tell them apart.
Kate McKinnon has a magical face.
She
There's
does have a
something
magical
about
face.
it. She can do literally anybody.
She is. I mean, well, that too. But no, have you seen the one where, like, Adam Driver is the dad and Kate McKinnon is one of the girls at a sleepover, and he comes in and he goes, girls, there is a problem with the toilet. Somebody flushed a pad. And then Kate McKinnon's like, yeah, guys, come on. Tell them who did it, you know? Just let it all out. Like, she walks into the room and she's soaking wet. So obviously it was her. It's like, well, so then, well, it wasn't just that. Like, they tried to cover it up with a bunch of toilet paper, and then it got stuck. So they duct taped it into the toilet, and then it flooded the thing, and I think they tried to repair it somehow, but then, like, the wall caved in. So, like, seriously, if you just tell me, like, what happened so I can tell the insurance company, you're in no hurry at all. And, like, Kate McKinnon is both, like, trying to she's trying to, like, cover up her crime and also hitting on Adam Driver, and it's hilarious. It is amazing. Although, in all fairness, any SNL skit featuring both of them is hilarious.
It's gotta be.
Have you seen the one where, like, he is a guy who, like, he does like an America's Funniest Home Videos show, but about cats, and it's just Adam Driver, like, stone-faced, like, with this really crazy high enthusiastic voice talking about cats, and then Kate McKinnon and one of the other people comes in, and they're this, like, French reaction duo, and they're like, oh, this kitty, he is going to fall from the table, he is going to die, it's very sad. Oh no. And then he's like, guys, you could try something, like, funny. Like, sometimes I have the cats make funny sound effects. And they're like, boing, boing. Oh, look, this kitty, he is going, he's falling down, boing. Look at him go. Oh,
I just remembered another thing that I was going to say about The Good Place because of what you were saying there.
Oh, good, yes.
Because I remembered the Kylo Ren thing of him being like, I heard that Kylo Ren is shredded, that he has an 8-pack. I remembered that, and I was like, wait a minute. I have another plot hole.
Another plot hole at The Good Place.
Yes. Holy shit. Michael goes on and on and on about how much he loves Friends. Then why is Phoebe in the show, not as Phoebe? What's going on?
That'd be too much. If this show took place in the same universe as Friends.
Why did they get the actress who was Phoebe, even though Friends exists in that universe?
Probably because they're like, oh, okay. So fun fact. So the guy who plays Jason Mendoza, who's I don't know his name. I forgot his name. I just looked it up. So he was talking about how he was giving his audition for the first version of Jason before they did some rewrites and kind of changed him for the show. And he's giving his audition, and one of the casting directors started laughing because he was really funny, but it threw him off. And so what he realized was every time he was rehearsing, he would have, like, a sitcom on. He'd have, like, Friends or, like, a 3-camera sitcom on in the background, so he could learn to tune out the laughter, because once someone laughs at the thing you're doing, you become self-aware of the thing you're doing, and then it throws you out of the headspace.
Probably laugh too.
Well, yeah, and he was talking about that, and it's so funny because, like, he legit does not sound anything like Jason Mendoza.
Oh, I believe it, like, and I'm kind of scared to look up an interview of him. It's gonna totally change how
he's got a very smooth, very cool way of talking. He's like, yeah, you know, so I was rehearsing, and I'm like,
that's weird.
I know, he's so great. I love it. I love it so much.
Oh, also, Eleanor is also in Parks and Rec, as is Ben Wyatt. She plays one of the people from Eagleton during the merger, who is like, we don't like to talk about money. And it's like, this is literally a budgetary meeting. Are you kidding me? You guys are in debt. We're talking about money, dumbasses.
Oh, God. Yeah. Now, Kristen Bell, there's a lot of actors in the show who are big names, but they're not, like, super prolific big
Yeah.
names. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're big enough to be recognizable, but like they're not like, oh, that guy. Like what? Like every single person in the show, except for the main actors, I'm like, I know that person. I don't know who their name is, but I know that person. Like, oh my God, Sean. I know Sean's been in something else I've seen, I'm sure.
He's been in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay. He seems like the kind of guy
Been
who'd
in
be in
other
Brooklyn
stuff.
Nine-Nine.
He's been in other stuff,
I
but
need
he's
to watch
also been
that
in
show,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
apparently. I have to watch that show.
It's very good. It is propaganda. However, it's a pretty good show.
I think the actors like Andy Samberg and all of them have sort of like, haven't they talked about how like ever since
they have, but like I mean they're still doing the show.
Still doing the
so
show.
It's like
whatever. I mean it could be straight propaganda. You know what I mean?
It could be worse.
Could be worse.
It could be not making fun of themselves and who they are.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
I do have to say, I love that, you know, Jason and Janet are a couple and Chidi and Eleanor are a couple, but like Tahani ends up being single and Michael ends up being single. It's not like a show where there's 6 people and they can all pair off, or you know what I mean? It's not all about romance.
Or like Friends, but at the end it's just Joey because they probably forgot to put him with someone or something.
Yeah, like it's not like a romance centered thing. The relationships that exist are there specifically because the people have bonded very strongly together. They don't feel like they've been forced together.
Oh, I you just reminded me somehow of like, I love when like when like Michael is like there's who is it who shows up and it's like, that's not Michael. No, Glenn shows up. That's not Michael. That's Vicky in a Michael suit. And then he's like and then Eleanor's like, okay, take off the flesh suit. And he's like, you won't think of me the same. I'm a fire squid. And Jason's like, whoa, no, I am a 30-foot tall fire squid with writhing tentacles and eyes. I think I'm hideous. You wouldn't want to see me. And then Jason's like, yes, I do. How many times do I have to say it? Please let me see.
Jason is all of us in this moment. Please let us see our true form.
Increase the budget.
Honestly, yeah, increase the budget for real. And not just that, but he like one of the legitimate reasons why he's like, I cannot unzip my flesh suit. First of all, you're kind of thinking, how would he ever get back in? And second of all, you know, the humans would be able to see him because as far away as Mindy St. Clair's house is from the neighborhood is in her backyard.
Yes.
You know, so they don't have to keep taking a train to her house, which is awesome. But it's like, you know, they'd see him if he did that.
I also appreciate oh god, what else? I was gonna say a thing too. Holy shit, my brain. Oh my god, I'm a happiness zombie. That must be what a happiness zombie is. No, but I also appreciate God, what was I gonna say? Damn it, waffle for me. Damn it, like fill up time so I could.
So I really loved the moment when Eleanor and Chidi and Uzo and Eleanor's old roommates are just having dinner together. It felt great. I just want more of that.
That is adorable. But I'll be honest, there was one part of the show that was almost agonizing. It was so perfect and wholesome. Mm-hmm. It's when they give the doorman an actual frog.
Oh my god. Okay, but the fact that Michael,
Mr. Jumpy Legs. I thought, okay, never mind.
Okay, but the thing is, Michael is the first person to give him a frog gift. And so he starts all the frog gifts in motion, and then he's the first one to give him a real frog. Michael just gets the doorman in a way that nobody else does.
I feel like that's the thing about Michael too, is like he's a lot more this show it's a very, one of the central themes is like, you know, patient, quieter, more attentive people might be worth listening to. Like people who don't have the biggest, flashiest, coolest ideas might be worth listening to. Mm-hmm. Like he was the first person to think of not explicitly torturing people forever.
Yeah, he was the one who was thinking, let's do it subtler. Let's do it a new way. He's one of the main demons who's been like, we can rethink things.
Yes, we can change things. One thing I also appreciate too is this is the thing I don't think anybody ever considers. Like they're calling themselves demons and this is the good place, this is the bad place. How do we know they're not just higher dimensional beings that colonize the afterlife and torture us for their own pleasure? You know what I mean? Like, isn't that possible?
It is.
Isn't it? Couldn't Earth be just a prison these monsters made for us?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, they never disprove that, but they never. I mean, they never say anything in proof of that. But it's fake, so I can make that up if I want to.
Yeah, you fucking can.
You totally can. This show isn't real, guys. I can say whatever the hell I want about it. For example, Michael Dilf, whatever.
You're
anyway.
right, and you should say it.
Say
How could you
it,
say
damn it.
something so courageous? Wait, something so controversial and yet so brave.
Have you seen the original "Why Are You Booing? I'm Right" clip?
I might have. I don't remember.
So what happened is like
But
Eric
you are
Andre-
right. You are absolutely right. He's a dilf.
No, he is.
What more is there to say?
Well, no. So what's happening is Eric Andre is like I've just seen this one clip. He's like he's looking really tired. It's like he's like an all-night telethon or something. It's like you know what? I'm excited about 2 years. 2 more years of Obama. Woo! Everyone's like cheering. And then Hannibal Buress like, no, it's 4 years. He's not going to quit halfway through. And then they start booing at him. He's like, wait, why are you booing me? I'm white. I'm right. And you're like, oh, wait, no, that actually, that's even funnier because he's not giving a controversial take. He's just factually correct. And he's like, wait, what the hell's going on?
I fucking love the Eric Andre show. It's upsetting.
I haven't seen
but
a full episode yet, but I really want to watch it.
You gotta be careful. It's kind of triggering sometimes, but it is very funny.
I can imagine. It's doing a good job at giving the entire internet all the memes. That's one of the negatives of the show. You can't make any memes about it because every single scene past.
The whole point is that it's a meme.
Yeah.
Number one, the tits.
The tits. Oh, I love how Michael tries to use "ya basic" on Sean. He's like,
"Ya basic."
Ya basic.
I love that. I love that insult. I feel like it should have been in the show more. It's absolutely beautiful, and I love it. I just absolutely.
I love Michael's thing where like Sean doesn't get it, and he's like, "Oh, it's a human insult. It's devastating." You're like, oh,
"You're devastated. Devastating. You're devastated."
Oh, it's so good. No, I love there's so many like subtle digs too that I like that like in the Good Place, like in the fake Good Place, you just have frozen yogurt.
Yeah.
Like on the one hand,
what's something
I would love
that's really good and yet is a little bit of a bummer at the same time? Frozen yogurt. Absolutely.
Although I'll be honest, it might just be that I have a lot of ice cream. I don't really have much frozen yogurt. I actually prefer frozen yogurt to ice cream.
Ew, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Frozen yogurt is a bummer.
No, frozen yogurt. I think it might be. I think for me it might be. There's this like, it's like it's that kind of like yogurty sort of bitteriness to it that I kind of like. It's a little different. Although then again, I'm a huge dark chocolate fan, so that might be part of it.
That's weird, bro.
I will say at Yogurtology, the one by us, they had like a Kit Kat flavor once, and holy shit, it tasted just like a Kit Kat bar.
Yep.
Like I feel like I could even taste like the wafer in it too. Like I was amazed by it. Holy shit.
That's great.
It is great. Oh my god, what we can get like a million flavors of it too. And so like I think at one point Michael's eating a like Neutron Star flavored thing, and I'm like, I would eat that. That's yes. Holy shit.
I love when Eleanor is like, ooh, can I taste full cell phone battery? Oh my god, it tastes exactly how I feel when my phone is fully charged.
I love when she first meets Janet, and Janet's like, I have literally all the knowledge in the universe. I can tell you answer any question. Okay, that guy that I was who did want to go out with?
Was he gay?
No.
Oh, so he really just didn't want to go out with me.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, well, that's fine. I'm over him. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
So good. God, what
Just
what
like
a good
the
show.
fucking narrator in Arrested Development.
Ah, yes.
We totally had sex last night. Except they didn't. Yes, we did. They did not.
Oh god, I have to watch that show. There's so many weird sitcoms I have to watch.
They are very
single
very
camera
good.
sitcoms. I think they had it started with The Office, then he had Parks and Rec, and I feel like now that's just the thing. Every sitcom is a single camera sitcom, except for Mr. Iglesias, which is Gabriel Iglesias' show, which I do recommend. I think it's very cute. It's very cute. So yeah. I know. I feel like we're kind of running out of a Good Place hot take. So I say
can't stop thinking. Just one more thing. I can't stop thinking about that stupid fucking committee. That's like.
Yeah. Oh my God. Them.
The ones like, did you submit the proper paperwork for that compliment? No, I didn't. I'm very sorry, everybody. I
I
will file my
resign effective.
paperwork for my apology, and I resign immediately. And then they leave, and everybody like claps. And it's like, we need another 400 years to draft a committee to create the committee. You're like, are you kidding me? You
But it
gotta be
also,
kidding me.
that's the kind of thing too, where like
bureaucracy in the good place.
that's the thing that I like
Hell
too,
is
is that like
paperwork.
it's not that there aren't rules in the bad place, it's that the bad people don't follow the rules. They just sidestep all of them. And then the good people just make up all these rando ass rules. Although that is a weird argument against like laws too, I guess, that they're making. And I'm like, that's weird. But I can see what they're doing. It's a roast of the Democrats. That's all it is.
I think what it is also like, you know, it's like the moral absolutism of like,
yes,
you know, like if there are these laws and these agreements that are finite and expansive and you have to follow each and every one of them, you're going to lose your mind. And you have to sometimes come to each situation independently and have your own reactions and your own interactions with the people that you are interacting with. You can't just like,
yeah, you can't hold on like you can't hold like moral absolutism like as like a founding thing to but even then, like, you need to also consider, like, it's kind of a meme at this point, but some of the most inhumane institutions in the world were legal in the countries in which they were based. The Armenian genocide, the Holocaust, the Holodomor, all three genocides, those were legal. Genocide of the Native Americans, I don't even think they had laws about Native Americans for like the longest time. The separation of Native American children from Native American parents into white households, that was legal.
Boarding schools and such.
Voter suppression is illegal now, but they're kind of blowing through it anyway. Although in all fairness, they have to. They have no base, so they have to.
Their base is dying of COVID because they don't think it's fucking real.
Which, I mean, they're already shrinking, and now you're helping them shrink. It's, I don't know, whatever. But there's another thing but that also kind of ties into, like, there's this really good talk that I listened to from this law school called "Don't Talk to the Police," and it's this guy arguing about how the Fifth Amendment doesn't exist to protect bad people from going to jail. It exists from protecting people who are innocent from incriminating themselves. And he ends up giving up half his time to a police officer who explains that, like, he could tail you, like he could just drive behind you, any car, any driver, they're gonna break the law at some point because there's a shitload of laws. So at some point you kind of have to go on a case-by-case basis, right? And that's my thing. So
I got a bunch of shirts from Joann's the other day so that I could paint like fuck 12 and ACAB on them. So I'm very excited about the future of my fashion choices.
Oh, good.
They were on sale.
Put them up on Redbubble.
On Etsy.
So Etsy and then Redbubble. I got
Redbubble is for digital art for me, and Etsy is for handmade art.
I need to also link you to just found because we have two Nerite snails in one of our fish's tanks, and just found out that there's actually like Nerite snail merch on Redbubble.
No, what's seriously. A Nerite snail?
So there's two different kinds of
like
snails
a hermit crab almost.
You can put into so there's two different kinds of snails you can put into a fish tank. There's mystery snails who are a little bit bigger. They have these like kind of like bluish kind of like off purpley thing going on. And then you got Nerite snails. Nerite snails can be either spotted or striped. And we have two spotted Nerite snails. I named them. The small one, the boy, is named Explosion. And the girl is named Ketchup.
Awesome.
And it's actually appropriate because Explosion is yellow and Ketchup is like orange. And they have these like tiny little like beady eyes under their shells. They have these little like antennas just sort of like flipping around and stuff. And they just kind of zoom all over the tank and they eat whatever they want. And they have copious amounts of sex. It's kind of disgusting.
Ew!
It's gay.
Why do you not put them in separate tanks from each other?
Well, because we didn't want the fish there to get lonely. And so he always like runs up to them and flares. He's like, "Guys, what are you doing? What's up? Hi, hello."
That's fucking cute. Hi. That's adorable.
Great. Although I will say, we had a Nerite snail in our other fish Midnight's tank, and she unfortunately passed away very soon after. She was probably sick beforehand. Her name was Poon, which is the Thai word for friend, I believe. Midnight wouldn't flare at her. He would wrap himself around her. He would snuggle her.
Oh.
It was
maybe
adorable.
he could feel that she wasn't feeling good, and he was like,
"Oh my God, maybe he could. Don't do that to me.
What?
We can't talk about the ending of The Good Place and the death of one of our beautiful snails." And went, "Oh God, no." Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. Well, anyway, that was episode 16 of the Good Place.
Yes.
Of the Good Podcast.
Of the Good Podcast.
Of the podcast. Of the Pooncast. We are gonna. We should say what we're talking about next episode and then not talk about it, which is just becoming a meme.
That is a great idea.
We're going to be talking about
the Backyardigans.
The backyard. No, actually, yeah. Let's talk about the Backyardigans.
Next episode, we'll talk about the Backyardigans.
Yes.
And then we'll actually talk about Kendrick Lamar instead.
Yes, we'll talk about.
Sounds like a plan.
Can we just get all the Backyardigans acting out like a visual album of To Pimp a Butterfly?
That'd be
and
awesome.
Tyrone is rapping about selling out and about how his cousin died.
Oh my God, Tyrone would be.
Tyrone
would be the main character rapping.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's got the antlers, dude.
Oh my God. And
antlers.
Tasha would be the one that's the girl in the This Dick Ain't Free song.
Yes.
Where she's like, you don't even buy me no Brazilian wave. You on my side,
Tasha
man.
would though. That's what she would friggin' do.
That's who she is. She literally has. She's such a fucking diva.
Hear me out. You know who I would cast as Tupac Shakur?
Is it Pablo?
Pablo. It'd be Pablo. Okay. Of course it'd be Pablo.
All
There's
right.
no one else.
Actually, no, I think Pablo should be Kanye West because of Life of Pablo. And then Austin.
Oh, no, yes.
Austin the kangaroo should be Tupac.
Austin does he kind of his face is similarly proportioned to Tupac Shakur though,
yeah,
in a way.
Nice.
I can see that. I can see that.
If Tupac were purple, he would pull it off. It would be amazing. This world is not ready.
Tupac wasn't just
for Tupac wearing purple. We're not ready.
You don't know that Tupac wasn't actually just purple though. You never know. Maybe he was like a chameleon and his skin could change colors. You never know.
I fucking wish I were a chameleon. Oh my
God. What if he didn't die? He just turned invisible. He was just like, "Hey guys, I'm invisible now. Woohoo!" That's I don't rap anymore. I just take long walks,
Just take it one day at a time, just one day at a time.
One day at a time, I feed
Oh my God, okay. Last thing about The Good Place. Jason was like, I wanted to find that necklace. So I found it. And so I waited for you to come, but I knew that every Janet that came wasn't you, so I kept waiting. And I just waited here. And she was like, kind of like a monk. And he's like, what? And she's like, never mind.
Oh no, that might honestly be like.
And he gives her a kiss and he goes, wait up, Cheaty, and he runs in there.
I love it so much. Just so good.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best ending to any of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, Jason is pure and he needs to be protected. We love Jason. And I also love that, it's just fast forwarding and there's more and more people in The Good Place.
Yeah.
You've got to imagine that, everyone at some point winds up, because they've got to be, thousands, if not hundreds of years in the future by the end of the show.
Because there's no one knows how many Baramies passed by.
No one knows how long a Baramy is. I don't think there's an objective measurement because it's fake.
It's a Baramy.
What's the dot? We don't know what the dot is. Jeremy Baramy.
It is Tuesdays. Every third Thursday, and this specific, I can't remember what the third thing was. This specific, and October's
Okay. What is Jeremy about? What is Jeremy? Baramy. third thing. Okay. I'm on the Good Place wiki. It's delightfully minimalist. It's literally just green and white. And now I have a trailer for The Mandalorian, which I have to watch. It explains what is it? I don't. Okay.
And sometimes it's never.
It's no the dot over the I in Jeremy Baramy is an isolated point on the timeline which contains Tuesdays, July, and occasionally the moment when nothing never occurs.
And sometimes it's never. Right?
When
Wasn't
nothing
Janet saying sometimes it's
never occurs. So I like to imagine it's just the moment in time when Steve Carell was saying, never do anything.
For any moment.
For any reason.
At any
no matter
reason. Of any
who
time.
you are with or what or where or ever.
And while he's saying that, Angela is being fought over by Dwight and Andy in the parking lot.
You're sleeping with her? She's my fiance.
She said she was only sleeping with me.
Okay. All right. Next episode will be about something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Take care, everybody. Wash your hands and vote, please.
Go the fuck to sleep at a reasonable hour and wash your face.
Once again, I am asking you to put your mental health first and foremost. Thank you for the meme, Bertie. We appreciate it.